So it seems like there's some really weird drama between Joe Klecko and Darrell Revis. What is going on, Jet fans? Matt O'Leary back with another video. Today we are reacting to a very weird exchange from Darrell Revis on Joe Klecko. Before we get started, Matt O'Leary NY on socials. And don't forget, the Just Jets podcast drops tomorrow. Be sure to be on the lookout. So let me tell you the story. Let me tell you a little story about Joe Klecko and Darrell Revis and some very bizarre beef. So yesterday, Jake Asman, you know him, you love him, had Joe Klecko on the program. It was a really fun interview. It was a really fun watch. If you haven't seen it, make sure to check that out as well. But he was asking Joe Klecko what it's like to go into the Hall of Fame with Darrell Revis. 2 Jets. There's going to be a ton of Jets there. And this was his answer. And Boy Green clipped it, put it on Twitter. And first we'll play the video of his reaction so you can hear and see if anything you see or hear is off from the answer from Joe.
Does it add to it that it's basically going to be a giant Jet fan party celebrating you and Darrell this summer? Like, how exciting is it for you to go in with Darrell when you guys get that opportunity to be a part of it together this summer?
Well, I said to him, when we were out at the Super Bowl, and I said to him, I goes, this is going to be New York West for a day. You know what I mean? And we got to sit down after, and Darrell doesn't say a whole lot, but the first comment we had, we were doing Sirius Radio, and he said, it's really cool that Joe and I, who are the 2 best defensive players ever to play for the Jets, are coming in together. And I I didn't know his mindset about us, and he didn't know much about me because it was been so long ago. I mean, I played when they didn't have face masks, so but it's cool. I mean, for him and I both, we've talked about it a little bit, and about what football has meant to either of us, and getting in the Hall of Fame, and it's really going to be cool. Like you said, a lot of people haven't really mentioned that as far as the 2 best defensive players ever. And to say that, it's pretty good comment, and it's going to go a long way, I hope.
So that's what Joe said, and here is how Boy Green captioned the video. Again, I am just trying to give as much context as humanly possible, and then we'll get into Darrell Revis's reaction, which I still don't understand, even a few hours later. So Boy Green said, Joe Klecko told Jake Asman that Darrell Revis doesn't say a whole lot, but he did say that Joe and I are the 2 best defensive players to ever play for the Jets, and we're going into the Pro Football Hall of Fame together. It's pretty cool and a pretty good comment. Seems relatively normal to me, right? Just talking about something. Joe told a story about, what Darrell said, and it sounded like it made Joe happy to talk about that. And he's like, yeah, we're 2 of the best defensive players in the history of the New York Jets to go to play for the team, and we're both going into the Hall of Fame together, and that's really cool. Somewhere along the way, Darrell Revis took offense to either the video or the tweet because he responded and says, I don't speak to people I don't know very well. And we did not speak based on you saying you were jealous of my success at the Super Bowl. My mindset is clearly I'm at the top of that list as the best ever, but as a gentleman, I decided to say something cool for a headline. Someone then asked him if he was going to walk it back on Twitter, or if he was walking it back on Twitter, and he says, I ain't walking shit back. I said what I said. It's true what I said, but also true that I'm the best defensive player in Jets history, period. I don't even know why this is even a conversation. Look, do I agree that Darrell Revis is the best defensive player in Jets history? Yes, I do agree with that. Joe Klecko is also a legend himself, and I've never had the luxury of seeing Joe Klecko play, but I did see the entirety of the career of Darrell Revis, and he was really, really, really special. I don't understand where either the disconnect or why is Darrell angry at him saying that they're the 2 best defensive players in the team? Yeah, you don't have to come out and say that you're 1 and he's 2. We know that. It was very, 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 very bizarre. I don't get if he misunderstood what was being said, or if he misread something in the original tweet that sparked him off. But there's no reason for him to get that upset. It's cool that both Joe Klecko and Darrell Revis are going into the Hall of Fame. Both are Jets. Both are going in at the same time. Both are in my opinion, the two best Jets defensive players in the team's history. Just so strange. Even Jake Asman chimed in on Twitter saying, I believe that Revis is misunderstanding the answer that Joe Klecko gave in my interview with him today. Klecko was not taking any shots at Revis. He was praising his greatness and saying how awesome it is that the two all-time Jets get into the Hall of Fame together. Just, again, really bizarre situation. And I hope that it smooths over. I don't want this to become drama between two awesome Jets. And we're like a little over a month away from the Hall of Fame. I'll be there in Canton, Ohio for it. So I am excited. I know, speaking of Jake Asman, I know he's going to be there. I know a ton of Jet fans are going to be there. So it should be a fun, happy weekend. I don't want any drama between the two guys that I'm going there to see. Joe Klecko, an icon. For really like the Jets fans who grew up in the 80s, like that's their guy. My generation of Jets fans who are growing up in the 2000s and early 2010s, Revis is our guy. So it's kind of the blending of the old guard and the new guard of the Jets fandom. So like, I don't know, this should be a really happy occasion. Just very bizarre. What's your take on it? What's your thoughts on the situation? I'm Matt O'Leary. Sound off below, and I will catch you next time.